Guinness Special Export.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. I've got a pretty special one today, and it is from the Guinness Brewery. Now this is Guinness, but not as you know it. This is relatively special because it was specially brewed for the Belgian market. Now how that came about was by a fella called John Martin. Not the Scottish folk singer who liked a beer. This was a fella who moved over to Belgium, believe it or not, and he founded a brewery, Martin's Brewery, and what he tried to do was quite interesting because he tried to import British beers, or the current British beers of the time, into Belgium. Now that was no mean feat considering how much of a heritage that Belgium had. But he'd done it, and he also created some beers as well, Gordon's beers. Not too well known in this country, but he brewed them in Belgium and they were quite popular at the time. They were his take on British style beers that he was producing over in Belgium, and they were okay. Obviously they weren't as big as some of the Belgian stuff, and the fact that it sort of died out a little bit would tell you that he really was swimming upstream trying to get British beer introduced to Belgium. You know, I know they've done it over here with craft beer, but when you've got a highly established beer market like you have in Germany or Belgium, trying to introduce completely new styles of beer, especially back then in them times, it was difficult, but he did his best. But what he also did, I think it was in 1944, which was, you know, sort of at the arse end of the Second World War, which I don't know how this worked out, I suppose because Ireland was neutral. But he asked Guinnesses to brew a beer especially for the Belgian market, and this was the result. Sometimes it's called John Martin's Guinness, but it is the Guinness Special Export. Now, since then, this brewery, this Martin's Brewery, it's become the biggest distributor of Guinness in Belgium. And, you know, you can say what you like about Guinness, but it is a popular drink. People like it. And I love it still. You know, I know my parents were Irish. My old man drank it till it was coming out of his ear rolls. But I like Guinness, and I still have the occasional pint now when I'm out and about. I don't normally buy the cans because of the nitro. I don't like that. And the Guinness Original is not too bad. It's not the worst drink in the world, but there is better out there when it comes to stout, certainly. But it's still drinkable. I will recommend the Guinness West Indies Porter. That was a really, really nice beer. Quite high ABV and sort of 6% compared to normal Guinness, which is 2 points lower. And I like the Foreign Extra. If you look on the channel, there's a review of the Foreign Extra. They sell it around the corner, and I quite like that. That was a good one. But I've not tried the Special Export. Now I'm assuming that it's pretty similar to the Foreign Extra that you get round the corner in the shop in Skunk Central. But look, there's some other. This brewery, this Martin's Brewery, they do some other ranges of beers as well. Kilkenny's. Have you heard of Kilkenny beer? I've heard of it. Very rare over here. I've seen it once in Morrison's a good few months back, and you could only buy a 24-pack case of it. I wasn't going to do that. I wouldn't mind reviewing it though. It's very similar to Caffrey's. Do you remember Caffrey's? That was like an Irish red ale. It was okay-ish, to be honest. I wasn't a huge fan of it. Well, that's a lie. When it first came out, I did drink lots of it, but I found because of the nitro, it gave me really bad headaches. Same with the John Smith's cream, the Tetley cream flow, and all them. I fucking stay away from them. Anything that's got nitro in it, I genuinely tend to stay away from. It's not good for me head. It gives me hangover instantly, instant headache. I don't know why. It's something to do with the nitro, but I'm going off topic here, but yeah, this is an interesting one, and it's specially brewed for the Belgian market. So, with that in mind, let's check it out. .330ml bottle, 8%. So this is hefty. You've got to give this a little bit of respect. It contains hop extract. Now, I imagine that's what they do in normal Guinness as well. Guinness isn't really about the hops though. It's all about the roasted malt. That's what makes Guinness. You know, I'm sure if you're watching this channel, you've drank Guinness. And if you haven't, then you'll probably like it. If you like your beers, you're probably going to like Guinness. It is the archetypal stout. It is one of the original stouts. Obviously, it's not the first stout. There was stout before Arthur Guinness started brewing. And it's one of them beers that has just stood the test of time. Not least because it is, I think, still possibly the most popular drink in Ireland. And it has been for almost a century, possibly even longer as well. But there you go. Let's get it open and let's see what it tastes like. Right, where's my bottle opener? Oh, there it is. I got a new pair of glasses the other day. I look like fucking Elvis Costello meets ZZ Top. I'm not going to put them on because I look like a complete twat in them, but I use them for work. I'll just keep these ones now. These are me sport casual, to coin a phrase from Alan Partridge. There you go. There's the cat. Right, with the collection. Now I'm going to use one of these glasses. I thought about putting it in a pint glass, but I thought, nah, I'll be a pretentious twat and use one of these. It's 8% as well, so you know it should be treated with a bit of respect. I did see you could get these in cans, and I think they were 500ml cans, but at 8%, that's heavy duty stuff. It looks like Guinness, doesn't it? What does it taste like? Oh, sorry, what is the aroma like? The aromas aren't big, which is what you'd expect from a macro brewed beer. Now, I'm pretty certain this is still brewed in Dublin. I don't think it's brewed in Belgium. I think it's distributed by the Martin's Brewery, but it is brewed especially for the Belgian market. Now, whether this is the same as the Foreign Extra, I don't know. I do remember the Foreign Extra being a little bit more big on the aroma, and it did contain the Foreign Extra did contain sugar as well. It contained a strange Indian or Asian type sugar. I can't remember the name of it. There it is. Lots of carbonation on that. You see that? The head is quite big. Considering that's 8%, I'm probably, because I poured it into this tulip style glass, this is a Watney's Scotch ale glass. Got that from Beers Europe. It's quite a nice glass actually, I do like that. I smashed me St Bernardus one and they'd run out, so I thought I'd get something like this. But anyway, enough on that. Let's get it down the hatch. Bottoms up. Oh, big on the ethanol. Big on ethanol and roasted malt. I don't think this is as sweet as the Foreign Extra. It's quite a lot of roasted malt in there, as you would expect. And the body is, you know, it's massive on stout, isn't it? Quite viscous in the body. I have to say the head's lasting well. I don't know whether they put sugar in there to re-ferment in the bottle. It's got a 2-year shelf life, but I'm assuming that could be drunk. 17, did I say 1756? I meant 1759. I do apologise when I talked about Arthur Guinness, found in his brewery in Dublin. Let's dive in again. It's very smooth and rounded on the palate. The finish is bittersweet. It reminds me of dark chocolate. But if I didn't know better, I'd think this, this is what craft brewers are attempting to get when they do these stouts. Now, I know they pour all kinds of shit into their, when you get your pastry stouts, anything goes that's sweet. They also do the milk stouts as well, and they're not much better than this. Now, don't get me wrong, this is quite expensive. I got this from Beer Sniffers, and it was the dearest one I got, I know that, but I wanted to try it. It was $4.29. Now, that is not cheap for 330ml, but that is what craft brewers charge you for, in some cases, for 330ml. So, they're competing with this, and this ain't bad. First mouthful was quite big, but as it goes down, you gradually get used to it, and it is quite nice. I have to say, it is not bad at all. Why was it brewed for the Belgian market? There really is not much to distinguish that from the other strong Guinnesses that are out there, i.e. the Foreign Extra, which was brewed in Africa and Asia as well. I thought there may have been a little twist on this to cater for the Belgian style, i.e. that would be, invert sugar, big ethanol. There is big ethanol in the first mouthful. I did get some big ethanol, but that seems to have calmed down now. Palate's got used to that, or it's adjusted to that. Some beers you do get big ethanol, and it's got that all the way through. Others, like this, initial mouthful, full of ethanol, and then your palate adjusts and it calms down. But I like it. It's not bad. Very balanced, very well rounded, and generally a pretty damn good stout, I have to say. What's the verdict on Guinness Special Export? It's nice. And the difference between this and the Foreign Extra, in my opinion, is this isn't as sweet. I thought it would be to cater from the Belgian market, but it's not. It's very well rounded, very balanced, very drinkable as well. Despite you seeing the big carbonation in there, it's not abrasive. There is flavour there, but the flavour on the palate is not as big as the flavour on the finish. And the flavour on the finish is then roasted malts, as you would expect from Guinness, but they're quite big and they linger and linger, and it's nice. The blocker for me is the price though. Now, I don't know what this is in Belgium, but over here £4.29 for a 330ml for a Guinness. You're thinking, hang on a sec, this is quite hefty in the price. But that really is the only sticking point for me, which may seem like a minor gripe, but it would probably put me off buying this again. I bought it because I wanted to try it. I love Guinness. I love the heritage of Guinness. Yeah, it's owned by Diageo. Yeah, it's ubiquitous wherever you go. America, Europe, Africa, Asia, you'll find Guinness in some form or another. Wherever there's an Irish pub, there is Guinness. And believe me, I've been quite a few places in my time, and I have never failed to find an Irish pub. Not on purpose, not because I'm looking for one, but there is always one. There you go. I am going to give this, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think it deserves an 8 out of 10. It's good, but the price is the big kicker for me. that is going to stop me from buying that again. But I will remember this as being very nice if anybody asks me about it. And if I'm in Belgium and it's cheap, I'm not sure how much it would be, but if I ever get over to Belgium again, if COVID allows it, would I buy a Guinness? If I was in Belgium, Christ, that'd be a difficult one, wouldn't it? You know, you're spoilt for choice in Belgium, aren't you? But it's nice, don't get me wrong. If you get offered it or you see a chance to buy it, just try it for the hell of it. It's different from the foreign extra, so don't think that if you try the foreign extra, you're getting the same as what you're getting in here. It's not. This is well rounded, it's not as sweet, and it's generally, I think, as good as the foreign. I really like the foreign extra, that was good. But for me, the foreign extra is cheaper. I can get it around the shop for, I think it's £1.70 or something on it, maybe even a little bit cheaper. This is £4.29 from Beer Sniffers. That is hefty. But yeah, apart from that, not bad. And remember, beer is working class champagne.